The doors have just opened at polling booths across Israel in a general election which looks set to return Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to office. The Likud party leader is under pressure from nationalist and religious parties. It's led him to approve the building of more Jewish settlements in the West Bank. That's one reason that a peace deal with the Palestinians is now a more distant prospect. The swing to the right could also put Israel on a collision course with its allies overseas.
Now, here is a quick look at the Israeli elections by the numbers. Voters are choosing the 120 members of parliament, the Knesset. 14 parties are represented in the Knesset right now, with candidates from 34 parties vying for seats in this election. Now, it's estimated Israel has more than 5 million registered voters, and turnout is expected to be high. Analysts predict about 65%.
Early to the polls, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu cast his ballot in Jerusalem on Tuesday. There's almost no doubt about his impending victory with the Likud party, but he will not have sufficient numbers to govern alone. And having led the country alongside the ultra-nationalist Israeli Batanya party, Netanyahu faces a new threat from the far right. The once marginal Jewish Home Party has been pushed to the forefront of the electoral scene by Naftali Bennett. Widely expected to be invited to take part in any future coalition, he intends to weigh heavily on government policy.
I appeal to each and every citizen going to the ballot box: decide for whom you're going to vote, for a divided and weak Israel, or for a strong and united Israel and a large governing party which will bring about the changes Israelis desperately hope for. One of those expected to make gains is the Jewish Home Party, led by Naftali Bennett. His pro-settlement group looks set to pick up 14 seats in the 120-seat Knesset.
I pray to God that He give me the power to unite all of Israel and to restore Israel's Jewish soul.
The Labour Party, led by relative newcomer Shelley Yachimovich, has campaigned hard on social and economic reforms. She has refused to go into coalition with Netanyahu and could ship votes to Hatnua. Hatnua, led by former Foreign Minister Tzipi Livni, wants peace with the Palestinians and a more liberal Israeli society. Livni, a former Mossad agent, wants to fill a vacuum in the country's politics and present a genuine alternative to Israel's right-wing leadership.
It's no wonder he's smiling. After a short election campaign, voters are almost certain to hand Benjamin Netanyahu another term in office. The inevitability could have made for a dull campaign were it not for the new kids on the Israeli bloc. They've inserted some much-needed energy, but it's made the campaign more about personality than policy.
Basically, they are fighting each other about the issues, and as I said, for Netanyahu, he's trying to make this campaign a personal campaign on his ability to be the prime minister, yes or no, without questions, specific questions about policies.
It's the rise in support for religious nationalist parties as opposed to Netanyahu's secular brand that's been dominating headlines. So Israel looks set once again to be governed by a far-right coalition with Netanyahu at the helm. But the story of this election hasn't been so much about the winners and losers as the cementing of power of the far-right parties and which of them Netanyahu will pick to be in the next coalition government.